Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be talking about my New York City trip that I had done this past year some months ago. So okay, yeah, getting started. This was not only the reason why this trip was so important to me was because, well, it was my first time ever really venturing out of Pennsylvania, and also it was also a part of my independence study that I had done with my professor. So I just have some slides I'm going to be showing, and or that I'm going to be reading from, just so I can stay organized. I did a slideshow, a whole PowerPoint, and no, I did a slideshow, I did a report, and I also did something else where I pretty much made like a travel New York guide, which was really fun too. And this is also just going to have some photos in it as well. I'm going to possibly import some photos in the video, but this is just easier for me to just stay on track. And yeah, let's get started. So boom, right? So we had visited, there was 3 days that we had stayed in New York. I would really like to think it was 2 full days, and really it was like 2 days and a half, because the third day was, it went so fast, and before I know it, we were already heading back to Pittsburgh. So there was 3 full days. There was 3 days that we just stayed there, and the first 2, they were all pretty busy. So for the visited places that I had been to, for the first day, we were stationed in Soho, and we went to a hotel we stayed in a hotel called Soho Town, which was really dope. And on our first day, when we got off our bus, we went to our hotels, checked in, and then after we settled in, our professor we had some groups going on, so whoever was interested in whatever they were going for, that's who they were stationed with their professor. So I was doing like photo and media art and stuff like that, so I stayed with my photo major professor. And where we had gone was to Whole Foods. I feel like I don't think I've ever been to a Whole Foods, especially in New York, so that was my first time for that, and that was really dope. I really liked how it was, and it was so funny because I was a little dumbfounded. I'm like, hold on. And it was also because me and 2 other girls, I believe, were trying to figure some stuff out. So as soon as I ventured off, I'm like, let me stop like looking like as if I don't know how to shop. So once I ventured off to actually start shopping, that's when I was like, okay, now I'm getting the flow of stuff, like I was acting like a lost puppy. But as soon as I was on my own, I was like, cool. So that was really fun. And then we had also an alumni event to go to later that day. So once we came back from shopping and getting the stuff that we need for the days that we were going to be spending in the hotel, we had then went to this place called Phoebe's Tavern. So that was like a bar restaurant type of place, and it was really dope. Nice music or whatever. So it was a place that where we got to meet some previous alumni from Point Park, and able to like pretty much know their story and like learn from their experiences, and also ask for like any type of advice or whatever. I didn't really do much talking to any of the alumni. I was just more so, I was just in the moment, and I don't know, I just wasn't like too worried about it. I could have definitely used it as good practice for sure, but I just really stayed off to like with some of my friends while they talked, and I was just like people watching really, and just observing, enjoying the music, and just vibing. And eventually they all told like their stories to us anyway, so, and it was still inspirational, and also just seeing the other students and seeing how outgoing they are and stuff like that was really whoa, what the heck was that? It was really just dope to hear, to experience in itself. Really dope place, and just like the scenery around New York as well of that area was really fun and amazing to see. I just couldn't stop snapping photos because, like, well, that's what I do. And yeah, so then I believe we head back to the hotel, and Oh yeah, so we head back to the hotel, and I think I forgot to mention, before the alumni event, me and another one of my roommates, so there was about 4 of us in one room, 2 beds, and it was like, those beds were so amazing and comfortable. Oh my gosh, but I'll get to that later. And we went to find this spot called the Noodle Love. So we just wanted to, we were feeling some noodles. I'm like, heck yeah, let's go for it. And yeah, and one of these images right here, that's the place from the Noodle Love spot, and it was really good. I had a ube horchata, and it was really yummy, and it was just, the vibes and everything was just so welcoming and just great. Food was good, especially since it was like, we didn't really know what to do, so that was like the perfect start, which was to get some noodles, or, you know, just food. All of the food that I had on this trip was just so, it was perfect. Like, the first impression of all of it was great. I really love how they get down in New York with their food. So yeah, and now it's just maybe, I only, again, probably only explored 6, maybe 7% of New York. I didn't get to see Times Square. I seen the Statue of Liberty, but like from a very far on the bus. But like, I've only explored what I was like sort of limited to because of like the schedule and, you know, stuff like that. And I wasn't about to venture off by myself in New York for my first time. No, that can be for like another day or whatever, but because I was in a group setting, I wanted to just, you know, see what they had in store. You know, I just, you know, that can be for another time. I wasn't about to risk that. So yeah, it was really good. And that's when we went to the alumni event. It was just really, like, the hotel, it smelled amazing. I love the designs. You know, it was hot, especially walking up some stairs to get to our rooms. It was hot, but it wasn't too bad. You just had to push through, and I just love the nightlife as well. But that was for the first night. For the second, we had visited 3 places. We had so we were in Manhattan, so Soho, and then we visited Brooklyn and also Subway. I said Subway, oh my gosh, Chelsea. Just because I looked at the word, but anyways, Chelsea, Manhattan, Soho, and Brooklyn. Those were like the 3 main spots that like we were in, and there was spots within spots that we had went to explore. So moving on to the second day, is when we had took this, it was my first time taking the subway. So the first subway we had taken was about a 5-minute walk from where we were staying on Bowery Street in Soho, which was called the Grand Station. The Grand Station was a lot much more calmer and just like smooth, definitely fast as heck, but there was some like struggles on like trying to pay to get into like get through the gate. But once we figured that out, we were waiting for the train and then we were on it. Not too shabby, but yeah, definitely fast and a lot more quieter and calmer, which I love. And then we made our way into Brooklyn, and the reason why we went to Brooklyn is because we were visiting a graphic design studio called Small Editions, where we met some people. I believe their names were Hannah and Isabel. I probably am wrong, I really hope not. And they pretty much just told us their story and their progress on how they made it to where they are, what they do, and how the clients and stuff that they work with, and book designs and stuff like that, and how they came together. Their studio was really well like put together, and just seeing 2 people, you know, seeing their own different personalities in one room and stuff, as along with their dog, was really dope. The walk there wasn't too bad. I feel like anytime I'm in a group, I'm with a group of people, and if we're talking, or especially if we are talking, the walk never seems that long. It can be a 20-15 minute walk, but if I'm in a group and I'm talking with someone, yeah, that goes super fast. Especially if I have the right shoes on too. It's like there's other factors like the weather, shoes, who am I talking to, who am I not talking to, pacing, whatever. But yeah, we had all woke up, me and another friend of mine, we had woken up a little earlier to get some breakfast. We went to this place called the Butcher's Daughter because we didn't really know how things worked around there. I guess we went to the wrong side of the place. So the guy was sort of just like side-eyeing me like fucking crazy, and then he just like kept, it was just like sort of weird. It was just weird energy. He still served us our food, but it really wasn't even worth it because we had to like hurry up, pack up our food, and it was just like weird. Like the service was okay, but it's just like, why are you looking at me like crazy? Like, okay, I'm sorry that we didn't even know. Like you don't treat people like that if they don't like know something, or if it's their first time ever being in that area or that place. Luckily we, you know, I wasn't alone and we were like together and whatever, but we ended up making it back to the lobby where we had met with our group, and then we were on our way, and that's when we went to the station and all that. And yeah, the walk there, after we got off the train and we went to walk to Small Editions, that really wasn't even long. I really don't even know how long it was, but it wasn't that crazy. But I will say what felt the most dystopian to me is I seen, I believe, yeah, it was so many Orthodox like Jewish people, and you know, you seen like their hats and like the way they're dressed. I seen like barred windows. I'm just like, whoa, this feels crazy, like dystopian as heck. It's just a complete other world, which I guess technically it would be, because you know it's New York and New York's very diverse. So yeah, but that was just like really a first. The language though was pretty, like just saying like the writing of the language was really pretty, but definitely whoa for that. And going into the place, it was like a little sketchy, but then it wasn't, because it's like once we got to where we were, it just looked like regular, like just a hallway of doors, and then, you know, like as if you're about to walk into your hotel room, but it's not, it's a studio. And yeah, that experience was really just overall great. This was all, so this was from I believe Wednesday to Friday, so our Thursday was quite busy. We had a whole itinerary of where we were going to, what we were going to be doing, and this was just like the first part of it. So after we were done with Small Editions, we then came back to Manhattan and at our hotels to freshen up, whatever, eat something, and then our professor, he then had taken me and another friend to this place called La Corner, which just translates to the corner. It's a Mexican food spot, and I had I forgot the type of food I had again, but yeah, a carnita, I think, taco. It was really yummy and just simple. I just love that I was able to have like a fresh and authentic, you know, Mexican food, and like the breading too. That just, it was really great. It's just great time, and just seeing people walk by, just people watching, I guess, and just seeing all that was going on that street was really dope. And a nice walk, like, you know, I didn't have a problem walking at all. It was just, there was so much to see, so much diversity, just so much going on. If anything, I feel like I would not want to drive in New York, because it definitely is crazy. And just from being there for a few days, even a day, there was like an accident or whatever coming into New York that we seen. So yeah, very crazy stuff. But then after that, that's when we had then went to Chelsea, and Chelsea is where we going to go to like the Pace galleries and just go see any other galleries and exhibitions. We even went to, I believe, a bookstore. Oh no, I don't have it on here. Oh yeah, the place was called La Esquina, which pretty much, I guess, translates to the corner. Not, yeah, so I said La Corner, which is hilarious. But yeah, we went to this bookstore, and oh, it's called Printed Matter. There we go. Oh my goodness, yay. So we went to this bookstore too, called Printed Matter, and I had gotten some souvenirs as well, and this is what they look like. They're on my, most of them are on my wall or just like elsewhere, and I don't have them like on me right now, so I just figured to show the photos. So yeah, I love my collages and stuff like that, so as you can see in my background, and those were like the New York souvenirs right there that I had put on my, that I got and put on my wall. So yeah, and the biggest souvenir that I had gotten too was the tattoo right there, so that's dope. I talked about that in my tattoo tour, you can check it out. But yeah, seeing the bookstore printed matter was really dope. Again, it was such a, I feel like it was a big space, but because of how much there was, it was cluttered, which made it feel small, but it wasn't that bad. There was like 2 levels. So like the first one, you just go up some stairs, and you know, and I believe there was photos and even more books, just books, and I love that. I'm a big photo book girly too. I love photo books more than, you know, books with words. But yeah, a lot. It was definitely a lot to just take in that whole area with like the galleries, and we got to see some artists and their works. And just really being in that space and being, you know, I really love, if anything, when I travel anywhere, I would love to go to their museum spots, because, you know, it's something really inspirational that happens for me, and just to see, and, you know, really getting up close on the photos and seeing how they put up. And since I had my own thesis show, and, you know, learning how to pretty much put up, you know, my own photos and stuff, and how I want to exhibit my show, seeing other works and seeing how they done it and what they chose for their photos, or whatever type of medium it is, really inspires me and just really makes me more interested in, you know, to keep creating and stuff like that. I believe going to Chelsea, we had got on the Metropolitan subway, and that one was a lot more, or maybe that was like hitting back, because it was just a lot more crowded, and just, oh my goodness, it was definitely a lot. We were all huddled up like a freaking can of sardines, and we just had to hold on tight and just, you know, watch our surroundings or whatever. Or at least I was. I don't know about anyone else, but at least I was. I seen a little bit of Chinatown, you know, so that was dope too. Yeah, there was even, I forgot to mention too, we even went to the Wine and Spirits, a place, yeah, Wine and Spirits after like Whole Foods, because my professor, he ended up going in there. So me and my roommates that I was staying with, we decided to just come along to see what they got and just to see how it looks. It was beautiful in there. How they done the woodwork, how they did the placement of the wines was dope. It was amazing. I loved it. It was artistic in its own way, just because it was like how it was placed and stuff like that. But yeah, it was really dope, and amazing to see. It was cloudy by then. It wasn't too hot. That's what I really loved too. Like the sun kept peeking in and out, but it was partly cloudy. And anytime we just walked to any of our places, it never felt too long. And I feel like it was because of the people I was with as a whole, like just knowing them and just really having a good time with them and stuff like that. I also went to a bar with a friend because she wanted to take me out and treat me for like my past birthday, since she never got to in Pittsburgh. So we went to this place called Home Sweet Home. I'm a lightweight too when it comes down to alcohol, so I only had 1 can, and that's all I needed. But I needed to get out of that place anyways. It was perfect because that place was loud. I don't know how anyone could work there. I'm assuming they have some type of air protection, because it was just non-stop banging, like pounding music, like techno type of music. Like, oh my goodness, I just couldn't. And then it's like, you know, just even trying to talk was just like a struggle, at least for me. So I just couldn't be in that type of environment every day for however long. But it was a really nice, you know, little experience there, because it was nighttime by then. You know, that's when the city wakes up, whatever. And I will say too, like anytime I have visited or walked, and I know this is just like a small percentage of New York that I experienced as well, but anytime I had visited Washington DC, and the time that I was in New York, I actually felt safe too. I wasn't like, of course I was watching my surroundings and all of that, but I didn't feel like paranoid or anything. And then another friend of ours was telling us her experience. She was like, yeah, she didn't get catcalled once, she didn't feel scared, none of that. Now it's just like really dope there, and just like, you know, it feels nice to be able to go out at night, or just in general as a woman, and just, you know, not feel like, you know, you gotta watch your back all the damn time or whatever. Of course, it's always important to, you know, check your surroundings, but that was like another big thing for me as well. So yeah, I would say my favorite part of the trip, besides the food, was really also just like exploring the galleries and stuff like that. We had also explored some food. We also went to a food truck called Morello's, and we had gotten, I believe I had gotten a shrimp taco. That was good, and that was on our first night, where me and my roommates, we had went out to go take some photos and stuff, and that was just really fun. I even got to take some photos of like neon buildings and the lights. I love neon and night photography as well. And then there was a pizza called Monero's which I had a mushroom spinach pizza, and that was really dope and yummy. And I feel like that's all I've been saying. This whole video is dope, but that's all I could think about. It was just such an experience. I was happy, and it was raining a little bit, but it was like nothing to it. We also went to another like exhibition spot as well. I think it was called ICP. That was the International Center of Photography, and that was like really such an amazing experience there, just seeing like the yeah, International Center of Photography. We had also visited that place, and I believe that was our last like spot off our itinerary list that we had went to. And then the night was up to us, so that's when we went to the pizza spot next to Little Italy. And yeah, and the night photos that I've taken, if anything, I really enjoy the nightlife so much. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my daytime I love the daytime scenery, but the nighttime life, or the nightlife, just really done it for me. And it was just amazing, just, you know, seeing the people in their shops. There was literally 2 or maybe 3 souvenir shops across from Morello's, and I was just like, I cannot go in there. If I go in there, I'm going to get something, especially if they're like cheap numbers or whatever. I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot go in there. But it was such a sight to see just from across the street as well. But yeah, for the last day, Thursday was busy. Thursday was real busy. I was possibly just rambling on, but for the third day, we had pretty much spent our day getting some food and before our tattoo trip, or, you know, appointment. And then we had went to our tattoo spot, and it was called Live by the Sword in Soho, and this was by Broadway, so it was just like, you know, nice seeing that as well. And that's where most of our day was taken up, was in the tattoo spot. My 2 other friends, I would say, like, it was just perfect, because one got a small one, the other got a medium one, and I got like a large one. And that's not even large for real, but large enough, I guess. But most of our time got taken up by the tattoo spot. And then after that, we went to this place, like it was like Minio's or something, pretty much just like any type of, you know, K-pop or, you know, movie stuff, anime, action figures that were like in mini form. And I have some photos of that I'll possibly import, and that was really cute. It was like such a cute little place, and you can definitely just lose track of time in there. I don't think I got anything, just mostly photos. It was just like a lot of photos. I also have this app on my phone called Dazcam, and, you know, my friend had put me on to that, so there was just so many moments where I was just using that app taking photos, and also my regular camera, just to see the difference as well. And it just gives off like a certain type of aesthetic too. So yeah, it was such a great time. And then before we knew it, we had to hurry up back to our hotel to get our suitcases that we had packed earlier in the morning. so we can be on that bus. And the bus that we had this time was a lot much better than the first one. The first one we were a lot more tighter and cramped, but we made it work. It was slightly uncomfortable, but again we made it work. The second one, a lot more space. I was able to like recline a little bit more and just be comfortable. And I didn't even fall asleep. I thought I was going to fall asleep. And the crazy thing is, going into New York, traveling to New York, yeah, it felt like the longest 5 hours of my life. But coming back into Pittsburgh, I didn't even fall asleep. It felt like the shortest time going back into Pittsburgh. It was just so crazy because coming back, in conclusion, I will say this, coming back into Pittsburgh, I was just like, oh my goodness, back to reality. It was just like, I miss it already. And I just couldn't believe that I was experiencing, you know, or that I had experienced what I just did some nights ago, and we were already back. And yeah, but that was my hectic and New York story and my experience. I really loved it. I'm really happy I was able to go, and that I went with the people that I'd gone with, and we all had a good time, and we were safe, nothing happened, and you know, it was fun. It was really fun, diverse and beautiful, and you know, hectic for sure. Like, that's New York for you. And I can't wait to, you know, just visit that New York again, and along with other places. But yeah, thank you. If you stayed here this long, thank you so much for watching and my rambling. If you liked it, please leave a comment and, you know, subscribe. And yeah, thanks again for watching, everyone.